From One of One Production Studios, broadcasting from NYC, you are listening to Unexpected Success with your host, Joy.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Unexpected Success with your host, Joy. And this is part 2 of our interview with Amoy Pitters, CEO and founder of Amoy Couture Hair Salon on 65th and Lexington Avenue in New York City, and also CEO and founder of Amoy Couture Extensions. I just really want to talk about how dynamic Amoy is. So she, in the first part, we talked about, how she managed to, come out of beauty school and end up in LA doing Tashina Arnold, and then end up doing in Paris with Donatella and John Galliano, which is amazing, obviously, right? But I really want to get into how dynamic Amoy is as a business person. And I think that's what has set her apart so much from other people who might be in beauty, is that she's a genius when it comes to business. So before we get there, let's get into Naomi.
So I've had a long run I met Naomi doing the shows. Another stylist was doing her. They had a falling out, so she called me to do her hair, and it was great. I mean, working with her was incredible. I've traveled places that I would have never thought, private planes, money, just like everything. Her reality is not everybody's reality. And it was just a really nice run.
Right.
She was very good to me, and I learned a lot from her as a businesswoman. She's an icon, and it was good. It was
it's so funny.
Beyond good. Sometimes I would pinch myself. She would have me in Saint-Tropez for a whole week. Right. She would be on somebody's yacht. Somebody would give her another yacht, and she would be like, "Oh, you guys could stay on that yacht." So,
and I'm gonna keep this yacht, right?
Right. So it was just unreal, and it's just crazy. I mean, the career that she's built, her black book is insane.
Right. And I remember that we went to an event that she begged you to come to.
Yeah, her book, the book
signing, and she sees you, and I think I was with Kookie.
Yes.
And Kookie and I are sitting there straight trolling. And she's like, "Amoy, I miss you so much." And you're like, "Yeah, fine. Nice to see you."
No, I mean, she's great. She definitely, working with her has definitely taught me, the creative side, the business side, and just how much, people love her in the industry.
Right.
I remember one time we were going to, I think, Vegas, and we were in crunch to doing her hair. She bought Tommy Hilfiger, lent her his private plane. I'm doing her hair on the private plane, and the lady's looking at us and at the time we had ovens, those ovens. So I took my oven out, and it's on this beautiful mahogany wood.
Right.
And the flight attendant is like, "I know they're not about to put that on the wood."
Right. You're like, "Yeah, I am."
So, doing her hair on somebody's yacht, she's friends with the Greens that own Topshop.
Right.
I was leaving Monaco from their yacht with her for a while, and I was meant to drive back to the airport in Nice, and Tina Green was like, "Oh no, darling, you're not driving." And I was like, "Well, how the hell am I going to get back to Nice?"
Yeah.
She was like, "On my helicopter." So they have a helipad on their yacht.
On their yacht?
Yes. So, you just meet these people.
I can't
They're so
take it.
generous. They're so nice. And sometimes I would say to myself, but I'm just a hairdresser. Why is everybody being so nice to me?
Right.
So it was just unbelievable. The people that you come across, the money that you make. And it's just up to you to really sit back, soak it in, enjoy the experience, and turn yourself into a business.
So that's the key, right? And that's what I really want to touch upon on this episode. So at this point, you've touched heads, you've done all this stuff, you've traveled, you have met the who's who in the fashion business. I mean, you've done so much. I guess at what point did you realize, okay, this is nice, but I need to build my business?
Yeah, I mean, what happened? I rented a studio space, and I was still doing, my regular clients while I was traveling. And one day I was like, I want a salon. But I realized, doing all this travel and I said, how long is this gonna last? I can't keep doing this forever. I was on a plane every week, different countries. Sometimes I would wake up and not know what country I was in. I was missing holidays with my family because, you know, Europeans don't celebrate the 4th of July. They don't celebrate Thanksgiving. So you get booked for these jobs and you don't want to pass up the money, but you go. And I was just like, I want to have a balance and I want to create something for myself.
And you want a home base.
Right. So I did my studio. I worked out of there. I was still doing it. When it was time to open a salon, I found a beautiful space on Lexington Avenue. And I did the salon. And it was amazing. I saved, did it on my own. And, you know, that's when I was like, oh, shit, this shit is real. Like when I signed the lease, the rent, being on Lexington Avenue. I was like, oh, my God, I
got just some heads.
I signed a 10-year lease. You know, so I was like, oh my God, this is real. Like, this is, it had, when my sign went up and I drove past Lexington Avenue, I'll never forget it. The sign went up that day and I drove past Lexington Avenue at night just so I could see my name.
Your name on Lexington Avenue.
Yes. And I was like, this shit is real.
It's so real. And you had a beautiful launch party.
Yeah, and I had a show.
No, I was there. Yeah, I was there. It was,
So we had a really nice launch party. It was really nice. And, you know, I was still traveling, moving around. And at one day I was like, I have to stop and just really build my brand.
Build your business.
Build my business.
Right. So you were able to maintain the clientele, the status of the clientele.
Yeah, and I was honest to them. I was like, you know, some of them started coming to me.
Right.
Or I would go to London, like literally leave on a 7:00 flight, land at 10:00 in the morning, do their hair and turn right back around. It was to the point where the guys in custom, they thought I was doing something illegal. He was like, wait, so you telling me you're landing now on this flight, but you're coming back on the 10? He was like, what do you do? I was like, I'm a hairstylist. He looked at me and he was like, yeah, right.
Really? Right.
So he was like, whose hair are you doing? And when I told him, he was like, yeah, right. Like,
he didn't believe you.
Yeah. So, and I was getting tired. So I was like, okay, I really need to build my business. And, you know, I got one of my clients, she's a banker. She told me about this Goldman Sachs.
The Goldman small business.
10,000 small business program. And it was like, the last week for application, register. So I went online, I registered. I had to write a small essay about my business. I wrote it. I'm sure I had my typos.
It doesn't matter.
I was like, oh my God, they're not going to call me. I was so rushed, whatever. So a month later, I got a call for the interview. And I went to the interview and I was like sick as a dog. But I went in there. They asked me about my business. I aced it.
You pitched it?
I pitched it and I got into the program.
Awesome.
So with no real business experience aside from my dad having his, company.
Your dad is an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah, my mom having a restaurant and just kind of winging it. That was something. It was almost like a crash course in
Right, yeah.
So they had professors from Wharton come in to speak. It was amazing and
you're also grouped with other entrepreneurs,
right? Exactly. Right? So that helped me to pretty much develop a business plan. And that's when I was already selling hair, but just taking it to the next level.
Right.
So that program,
figuring out how to scale, and so some of the skills that you learned while you're there, you learned how to scale your business.
Yes.
You learned. I mean, you already had a pretty firm handle on your finances, but ultimately it helped you also.
Yes, it changed my conversation with my accountant. It changed me as a person. Just people that's working with you, they're just the type of people to hire in your business.
Right.
So I learned.
And how you structure those employment agreements.
Exactly.
And or whatever type of agreements you have to structure, right?
So,
okay.
Yeah, so that taught me a lot on the business side, which helped. I mean, I can't thank Goldman Sachs enough.
Right.
And they generally don't have a lot of hair salons. So I was surprised when I got in because they usually have a lot of restaurants, construction companies. So I was really surprised.
But you also had a different kind of hair salon.
Yes.
Let's be clear, right? I mean, just not the average hair
and that's
salon.
another thing, if you want to be in a program like that, your business have to be real. So thank God, I had a real business and you had a real storefront. They could see on paper.
Right.
Yeah. So a lot of salon owners, they're super creatives. They could do some hair, but their business is not real. It doesn't exist. You can't go get a loan. They're getting the cash. They're putting it under their mattress. But don't do that. Pay your taxes. and make your business visible so you could get a loan.
Right.
You could, and that's what, if I didn't have that, I would never got in the program because you have to show those credentials.
So, and then another huge part. So I know that you then became the CEO of, you founded Amoy Couture Extensions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so was that a direct byproduct of having attended the Goldman Sachs program?
I started selling hair because I realized the money you can make. Because, I was going on these shoots all the time and they always ask for more hair. So I was buying hair from someplace else, but I was like, why am I buying hair from someplace else when I can't do a markup? Right. So I went to India. And I found my own found a manufacturer, and I was like, you know what? This is it. I'm going to start my own hairline. So aside from doing the service in the salon, I was also selling the hair.
And what was that process like?
I mean, you just have to wing it. You're going, you get off the plane in India. You go and meeting all these different people, and you don't know what you're gonna get. So I mean, I met with one lady that was like, yeah, my hair's the best, blah blah blah. I gave her some money. She sent me some hair. It was shitty hair. It got tangled. There was another guy. So I eventually found one reputable guy, and that's, my manufacturer. So that's how Amoy Couture Hair Extensions was born, and I cut the middleman.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, put that in perspective, right?
Yeah, it's Chennai, India. I mean, imagine, it's crazy hot. You just got to hop in the cab. You go into all these different, they got these little shops set up. I got the best hair. So you just got to pick. Nobody told me, well, that's the best guy to go to.
Right. No, of course.
So I lost money, but in the end, it was worth it dealing with this one guy. And it's still, years later.
Right. No, I mean, what an investment, right? So while you might have made mistakes, at the end of the day, you now have your own line of hair.
Yeah, exactly. And now I have wigs, I have closures, frontals. And, so now my clients is more like of a customized service when they come in and they want a wig. We customize the color for them because it's all virgin Indian.
No, and I've seen it. Yeah. I mean, so I have the benefit of having seen how you treat this hair like.
Yes, and that's what sets us apart. I mean, if you go to a regular beauty supply store and you're looking for a wig, you 9 times out of 10 it's synthetic. It's mixed. You're speaking with someone that don't have a cosmetology license. They don't know where to inform you. The color is not matching. So that's what sets us apart.
And you also can get different textures.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's always amazing.
We have textures that matches, from the person with really straight hair, if you want really blonde, so that's what sets us apart.
Right. And then you also have other products store. As well. You have other beauty products you sell. You also have the scalp scratcher.
Yes, I have my weave scratcher that I created.
Right. That's
I was like someplace one day and I saw this girl hitting herself in the head and I was like, is she like a little crazy? And my friend was like, no, girl, she's scratching her weave. And I was like, what? I was like, oh no, my clients cannot be patting their heads.
So yeah.
So I created a weave scratcher which stimulates the scalp, which stimulates hair growth, and it's very small, it's compact, you can put it in your purse. And it's like almost like a little mini pick, and you scratch your weave.
Right. No, and, exactly. No one knows.
Right.
And if they do, it's so super cute and dainty.
So,
and we'll feature this also on our social media so you guys can see the weave scratcher and how well it's done.
Yes, and it's help you, when you're shampooing your extensions, and it stimulates your scalp. So it's amazing.
So what's next for Amoy Couture?
What's next? I mean, I would definitely like to open another salon somewhere in Europe, maybe.
Yeah.
And just keep growing my business. I mean, hair is something that machines will never be able to do.
Nope, you're secure.
You're secure. And it's just all about turning yourself into a real business that's sustainable, that you can make money while you're sleeping and not being on your feet all the time.
And you've also trained people in your technique of how you do it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, I guess, so someone who's listening, a young stylist or a young person that's thinking about getting into their own business, what advice would you impart?
Just to pretty much take it serious. I mean, this is a business that's not going anywhere. The beauty industry have grown so much. Just take it serious, enjoy your craft, learn your craft,
and be business savvy.
Yes. And there's no need to, sometimes you hire an assistant, they come, they learn, they try to backstab you. And there's no need for that. There's enough. The population in Manhattan, the whole world is growing so much. There's a lot for everyone. And it's a small industry. So just take it seriously wherever you feel like. If you're a colorist, a good weaver, take classes.
Be passionate about it.
And just know that it's not going anywhere, and just do good work. You don't have to advertise crazy. If you do, I never advertise. Really.
No, it's all been word of mouth.
It's all word of mouth, and those are your best clients. And I have clients I've been doing since I started.
Well, yeah. So, I guess if you had to pinpoint one of your biggest obstacles and how you were able to overcome it, can you pinpoint something that has been a challenge?
I mean, the biggest obstacle was just kind of just maintaining who you are and perfecting your craft. Trying
to get better.
Getting better. And that's what I've always done. I try to be better, try to give a better service, try to be a better person, and just don't get caught up. You could do the biggest celebrity today and they could drop you tomorrow and you're nothing. Just stay true to who you are. Don't change your formula. A lot of people change their formula. And don't forget who made you who you are.
Right.
And that's the regular woman, the everyday businesswoman that's coming to your salon. You could do the celebrities, but they change their mind so many times.
Well, having been to your salon, I always feel like I'm in the middle of a magazine. So, I mean, literally, and it's nice. You'll see a supermodel, and it's just what the tone that you set to your business. Right.
You come to my salon, you're sitting next to Joan Smalls under the dryer.
Right.
And these are girls that are so big in the fashion industry, but it's the tone that I set, that I treat everyone the same.
No, exactly. And I've always felt that too.
My thing is just to do beautiful hair. It doesn't matter who you are. You're a celebrity or regular woman, and just to stay grounded.
Treat everyone the same.
And we're in the service industry. I'm not a singer, I'm not a dancer, I'm not an entertainer, so I'm not going to try to be that.
Right.
I just want to create and do beautiful service for anyone that sit in my chair or that come to my salon.
Wow. I mean,
and the experience, you also have to have a beautiful experience.
Well, yeah. So I go to the salon I've been lucky enough, right, to have gone to the salon. Literally, they take your coat, they give you glasses of wine if you drink, or they'll make you tea, and you just feel like it's truly the hair washing experience is one to die for. You never want to get out the chair. You're like, oh, keep going.
So
no, it's definitely an experience.
I try to give the clients what I look for when I go someplace for a service.
Right.
And I want the best, so I give my clients the best.
Right. And the salon is meticulous as well.
Thank you.
So anyway, I mean, I feel like we're hitting the tip of the iceberg with Amoy. There's so much that you can probably impart and share. It's hot in here, but
no, it's not.
It's a cool breeze.
I'm cool.
I just wanted to say that, I feel so blessed to be able to have people like you come into the studio. I just want to say that we are now on our 15th episode.
Wow, that's great.
Isn't that great?
And thank you for having me.
I mean, of course. I'm so happy you were able to come. I just want to thank you and thank you to our listeners, and thank you for subscribing and giving great ratings and comments. For those of you that know me personally, thank you for reaching out with words of encouragement. In full transparency, and starting this podcast, I had no clear goal in mind. I just knew that I wanted to share inspirational stories and engage with people who I'm inspired by. I still don't really know what my goal is, right? But I'm happy to know that the audience finds the content inspiring. If one listener decides to stop making excuses as to why they can't fly, that would be enough for me. I'm going to start reading comments aloud to start each episode going forward. So if you're listening and you like the content, please take a moment to leave a review and comment so that I can read your comment online. Anyway, so thanks for tuning in to another episode of Unexpected Success with me. You can find us again on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, YouTube, and Podbean. Please hit subscribe and leave a review once you've listened. Until next time, Amoy, thanks so much for coming. You've been amazing.
And I love your podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. And keep winning, guys.
This podcast was brought to you by 23DB Productions, ID Productions, and One of One Productions. For more information, go to Facebook and Instagram, Unexpected Success with Joy.